Hello. Oh, that hurts. My knees ain't good like they used to be. Good afternoon. We are going to do this real quick. We are back in our book, Living Beyond Check to Monday, A Spiritual Path to Wealth and Prosperity. I'm so grateful that you have chosen to join me today. Last week we did the activity, You Are Spirit, and you're supposed to list at least one strength in each area of emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. So today we're going to talk about barriers to prosperity. But we're going to pray real quick. I don't have a chair, so this is going to be kind of awkward. I'm not in my normal setup because there's a lot of noise. Okay, that helps a little bit. Don't be looking at my junkie room. My painting supplies. Okay. Most High, we're so grateful for your presence. We're grateful for this day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We are grateful for the wonders of your creation and all of the majesty and the glory of your holy name. And we are grateful for the sacrifice of Christ and for the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. We're grateful for your provision and your protection and your patience with us. And we ask that you continue to protect and provide for us. And please keep us from temptation. Please deliver us from evil, from anything that may seek to hurt, harm, or destroy us. And ask that you search my heart and remove anything that is not like you. Help me to be an authentic expression of your love and remove my ego so that you can speak clearly through me and that I will speak from a place of integrity. And I'm so grateful for your love, and I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight, for you are my strength and my redeemer. By faith I count it all done through the blood of Christ, and I'm so grateful. So it is. Okay, so maybe I should put this over here so we can get some more light. I'm working out this stuff, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to read Barriers to Prosperity. So, we're talking about you are spirit. We are born in the image and likeness of God. So, there's so much more to you than flesh and blood. And so, in this topic, it's saying, where am I going with this? It's very common to have barriers that prevent you from experiencing true prosperity. The barriers that may have nothing to do with your finances. A barrier may exist in the emotional and mental aspects of your life and manifest in the physical aspect. In other words, when you have problems with your relationships, they can filter over into your finances. When you feel stifled and unfulfilled in your career, your relationships may be affected. Financial problems may lead to severe health issues. Basically, if you think the unresolved negative drama of your romantic relationships, divorce, family issues, poor health, hurt, frustration, fear, or anger are not affecting other aspects of your life, think again. We try to compartmentalize these aspects of our lives that are not working and pretend they are separate entities and not connected to who and what we are. Think again. You are always and will be the common denominator of your world. Everything happens for a reason. You know there is a lesson for you in these situations because you keep showing up. In other words, you will continue to attract people and situations that make you uncomfortable until you get the lesson. Rather than viewing the situation from a victim's perspective, such as why do bad things happen to me, consider it as an opportunity to grow and become a better person. Once you have learned the lesson, the person or situation will no longer have the same effect on you. You will be able to move on to bigger and better things. If you choose not to move on, then you will remain in the cycle of pain, insecurity, anger, etc. indefinitely. So that's definitely a lesson I had to learn and remove myself from those unnecessary situations. I'm so grateful that I was able to get those lessons. And now we are rebuilding. Let's see. Is that better? This is not working well. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so this week's activity is to do the same thing we did last week, but instead of strengths, we're going to list barriers. Like, what are your emotional barriers to prosperity, your mental, your physical, and your spiritual barriers? And I looked up some barriers, some scriptures, and scriptural barriers to prosperity include laziness. There's a lot of scriptures against laziness. I listed those in the description box. Also, hoarding, because we're supposed to be generous. God gives us things so that we can share. And if we are being selfish and trying to hoard everything to ourselves, then that will block our prosperity because it's a flow. Wealth is a flow of energy. So if you're holding something tight, there's no flow in that. Yeah, you're not losing what you got, but you're not getting nothing in either. So we should have our hand open so we can get all that we are able to receive, and we are also able to share as much as we can too. And then the other barrier was poor money management. And I understand that too because what was said in the article I was reading was that sometimes when we are in situations, it's not so much that God isn't providing or that we're struggling, it's because maybe we mismanaged what He had already given us. And I know I've been guilty of that personally. And I'm learning well, this is part of my effort to learn how to manage my money better because I don't want that to happen again. I want to be able to be a good steward over whatever I'm given. That's what this course, I guess, is about. And the last one is poor season management. So that's meaning like, let's say just in the seasons, we have winter, spring, summer, and fall, right? So certain vegetables can only be planted during certain seasons. So it's the same thing with prosperity. Sometimes it's a season for you to rest. And when you're resting, you're supposed to be learning new skills and things that you can put into use when it's time to start planting your seeds for prosperity. Or sometimes it is a season of planting where you're putting in the work and the effort that it's going to take to reap the benefits later. And then there's a season of watering. You have to tend to what you have already put the effort into. And then there's a season of harvest, right? So, but if you're doing the wrong thing in the wrong season, well, even if it's the right thing in the wrong season, it's not going to get the results that you're trying to get. So that's important too. And that's why it is very important for us to stay connected to the Most High and to listen to the guidance of the Holy Spirit so that we can know what season we are in, because everybody's season is different, because we're all individuals, like we spoke about the identity and integrity, right? So some of my personal barriers, I don't know if it counts, like, for emotional or whatever, but procrastination is a big issue for me. And that comes from a lot of different, I guess, fears or resentments, maybe. That's why I put it under emotional, because, like, I know a lot of the reasons I procrastinate is like I don't feel like it, but more so, not so much a fear of failure that I think. I think it's more of a fear of success, because I've been in a position before where I had to manage multiple people and be responsible for a lot, and it was kind of overwhelming. So I've gotten used to only having to take care of myself, and honestly, it's easier and I enjoy it. So I think a lot of my procrastination is kind of a lack of willingness to move out of this comfortable state, which is a barrier to the prosperity, because in order to be prosperous, you're going to have to deal with other people. And when you do become prosperous, you are going to be responsible for other people, because in order to run anything on a grand scale, there's going to have to be multiple people involved. And so now, once you are employing people and doing things in that way, you are no longer just responsible for yourself, because these people's lives are now dependent on this endeavor. So that's a lot of weight to carry, and I don't take that lightly. So that's part of my procrastination. And mental is sometimes I get unmotivated, and it's just because putting effort into anything is not easy, especially if you're going to be doing it on a consistent basis. This is a daily thing that you have to live out if you want to be a good steward over what the Most High is giving us, the blessings that the Most High gives us. Then it is a daily effort that has to be put in, and that takes energy. So if you are mismanaging your energy, like sometimes I do, or like sometimes I put so much effort, again, it's the seasons, right? I put a lot of effort in learning the things that I feel I need to learn, when some of that effort may need to be put more towards the Most High, more towards my spirituality, to keep me strong enough to be able to have the energy to stay motivated, right? So that was my mental barrier. And physical, I'm be honest, physically, I'm just a little lazy. I do what needs to be done, but I procrastinate also because I enjoy just chilling. Like, I don't really like doing hard work. I will, but it's usually my last resort. Or, if it's something I know that is going to take some elbow grease, I'd rather just go ahead, get it done, get it over with. But if I don't keep moving while I got the momentum going, it's kind of hard to get me moving again. So that's why a lot of times I just keep moving. Because when I sit down, I'm going to be there for a minute. Um, but that can be a barrier. That's a physical barrier to prosperity, because anything worth having is going to take some work. And I know that. So, but still, I'm human too. It's a matter of knowing and doing are two different things. So, this is part of me gearing up to do what needs to be done, because I know better. And when you know better, you got to do better. So, that's what we are working on. And spiritually, my barrier, I think, to spiritual is the doubt. It's not so much that I doubt that it can happen, or that the Most High will make it happen. I think it's more so I thought it would have happened by now. But now it's like I'm kind of glad that it hasn't. And now I'm starting to feel like things are happening faster than maybe I will be ready for. So I'm just trying to pay attention and make sure I'm ready for whatever the Most High is doing, because He's definitely doing a new thing in this hour. And we got to pay attention, because He tells us all the time, be ready, because you don't know when everything is going to happen. The Most High is turning things around. So um, we just got to stay grateful, stay mindful, stay ready, and obedient, because as long as we are connected and doing our best to feed the relationship that we have with the Most High, then He will guide us through His Holy Spirit to do the things that need to be done to get us into position so that we can receive all of His goodness. And I'm so grateful for that. So, um, I didn't want to make this long, and I'm liking that they're a little bit shorter. I'm a little bit longer with the words, because those words be speaking to me. But this is important stuff too. I'm taking this one page at a time, one step at a time, because I want us to really get this into our being, and so that once the prosperity starts flowing, we will be able to handle it confidently and with ease, and not be overwhelmed, like a tidal wave. Like I keep seeing tidal waves, the imagery that I'm being shown. So we're going to be ready. We're speaking it into existence, and we are so grateful. So do the activity, list at least one barrier that you may have in each area: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. that you think may be keeping you from your prosperity. And again, biblically, I looked up a lot of the barriers are laziness, hoarding, poor money management, and poor season management. So we just got to get on our P's and Q's and be ready for anything, right? And pray. We got to pray that God protects what He has given us, that He shows us how to manage it properly, and that the enemy won't be able to take it. And we got to be strong enough to fight for what we know is ours, right? That's what sons do. And when we are sons of God, when we are children of God, we know that we are royalty. So we have to behave as such and conduct ourselves in a way of excellence. So I love y'all, and so does the Most High. So have a great day. Find reasons to be grateful.